Warning weather powered by Doppler Max.
Good afternoon, everyone. We do have a tornado warning that is in effect for parts of Crawford County and Ashtabula County. Some strong storms firing up this afternoon, and you can see here this big red box really covers the northern third of Crawford County as it moves on off to the east, just to the south of Edinburgh, heading out towards and covering Cambridge Springs and Springboro at this time. And you can see that this system pretty big, pretty intense with all this lightning associated with it at this time. It is moving to the east about 50 miles an hour, so moving pretty quickly, but Doppler indicated tornado out towards Linesville, about 7 miles outside of Linesville, 14 miles outside of Meadville at the moment. This severe thunderstorm moving on through, and here are some of the stuff with this. You can see there is some hail, some wind with this as well, extreme lightning as you can see here, and of course when we talk about mesocyclone, that is a tornado possibility, and we're looking at that now, and the hail almost an inch in diameter, about 3/4 of an inch in size, moving on through the area right now. Of course, this will last until 3 o'clock or so across the area for Crawford County and into parts of Ashtabula County as well. If this is what it looks like in Meadville right now, you can see just some strong gusty winds blowing the camera here, 72 miles an hour, but not seeing much out there right now, but we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, if you are in the tornado warning area, you should get down, get inside a sturdy building, get down as low into the building as possible. Of course, the basement, the lowest floor in your home. Use pillows, blankets, and helmets to protect yourself. Once again, this storm is moving off to the east about 50 miles an hour or so. I'm going to draw a line for you just to see what other towns could be impacted with this at the moment. And as I move on in, you can see some of the towns, Route 198, Route 18, of course 79. I'm going to put the outer edge of this here and draw this out here into this direction, and you'll be able to see that these towns should take shelter immediately out there. Bloomfield would be one of those towns, of course, and we're talking about Doylestown, Steubenville, Britton Run, as well as Rome, Hatchtown, East Branch, and Star, and this is the timing for those as well as they move on off to the east. So something to keep an eye on for you. Once again, the system moving off to the east about 50 miles an hour. If you have friends, neighbors, anybody in this vicinity, you really should call them immediately. Tell them to take cover. Schools, of course, should keep the children inside, of course, into a very secure location. Of course, the interior portions of the school, and of course the lowest floor possible as well. And you can see that this has been extended now. I can see this here. It's been extended through Rome and Titusville. So also that tornado warning has now been extended across Crawford County, all the way from Ashtabula County, Pierpoint, Linesville, all the way out towards Rome. And so now we need to be on the alert for our friends out into Warren County as well. So here's the bigger picture of it as well. If you don't know, a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning has been issued by the National Weather Service as we move on off to the east here. You can see those heavier showers moving on through. Them to take cover if you are outside of this area. If you're watching this now, please take cover immediately. Stay away from the windows, of course, and go into the lowest floor possible. Once again, this is what it looks like for us for Bloomfield, Little Cooley, out there into Rome. You've also been extended into these tornado warning out into Hatch as well, Hatchtoe as well. Just looking at this. We're also looking at Steuben as well, so please take care of yourself, your family, and yourself as immediately as possible. We're looking at very strong impact from wind, from hail, also from lightning. We're seeing excessive lightning, and of course we're also seeing large hail. This says about 3/4 of an inch to an inch in diameter. You can see here now we have some more watches and warnings, so I'm going to go over to Doppler Max and take a look at this stuff as it pops up automatically across the area. And the yellow there now means that there is a tornado watch now officially for Ashtabula, Crawford, Erie, Trumbull County. There's also a tornado watch in effect for Ashtabula, Crawford and Trumbull County down here into Crawford County as well. This is into effect till 11 p.m. tonight. So this first round of storms going on through has created the tornado warning, but again, more storms behind it for later this evening could pose some possible threats for people across the area. So we'll take a look at Meadville now. We can take a look outside. I'm not seeing much there, some darkening clouds, of course, and we're also seeing just some windy conditions. Anybody in the back who has control of the Meadville cam may want to do a little swing for me just to see what's going on. So once again, if you are under the tornado warning across the area, we're looking at these tips to stay safe. Get indoors as well. Get indoors, get down, cover up, use your pillows, use your blankets, your helmets, whatever you have to protect yourself into those county and into those areas for the next several minutes as well. Now remember, we have extended the tornado warning across the area. We're also looking at updating this warning till 3:45 now into Crawford County. So that new warning has been extended to 3:45 into Crawford County, the extension of the tornado warning. Sorry, I'm just reading some stuff here as I talk to you at the same time. So I'll move that there, and we also have that tornado watch that's in effect for the region as well. So 3:45. So the basically central and western portions of Crawford County until 3 p.m. That will expire in about 2 minutes or so, and then we have another 45 minutes for Crawford County. So please take cover immediately across the area. Also go to the lowest floor of the basement, and again, stay away from windows. If you are outside of this area, please call anybody who may not be watching television at this time. Let them know what is going on with the tornado warning. I'm going to go back to Doppler Max here, and we're going to take a look at the progression and what towns should be watching out for what is going on. As I freeze this into motion here, and we will see that these heavier, you can see the lightning associated with this system right now as I draw a line, as I will draw a line from across Crawford County here. We can see the lightning strikes are picking up across the area as well with Doppler Max, and you can see there that the lightning continues. So these are strong thunderstorms moving to the east about 50 miles an hour, and that is going to cause wind damage, either straight wind damage or with the tornado possibility. No confirmed touchdown at this moment, and you can see there that this is still moving out towards Bloomfield, out towards Steuben as well, and that means that you have time now to take cover. And as I move this out here, I'm going to draw another line of the impacted communities, as you can see, and we'll move on off as far as we can. Clapville, Rockdale, Little Cooley, Rootville, also Lincolnville, Bloomfield School, and Steuben should also be on the lookout and starting to take the necessary precautions to stay safe as this storm moves on through the area. So you can see part of Crawford County, the severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado warning has been canceled. Still parts of Ashtabula County still have this out towards Pierpoint, down towards Andover. And so you can see here now the eastern 2/3 of Crawford County now covered in red, which means the tornado warning is in effect till 3:45 for tonight. All right, so again, the impact from this is you can see flying debris with dangerous debris flying around. You should be into mobile. If you're in mobile homes, you really should seek sturdier buildings. Mobile homes could be destroyed. Damage to rooftops, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely with this storm that is moving on by the area. The tornado will be near Cambridge Springs, possibly around 3:05, Guys Mill 3:15, Lincoln, Conneautville Lake around 3:25, Riceville 3:30, Titusville 3:40. Other locations that are impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Townville, Woodcock, Sagertown, Hydetown, Spartansburg, Venango, and Bloom Valley. Just real quick, Eva, do you have anything to add? Well, you do? I'll come. Okay. So let's get Eva together. Maybe bring up her mic. Leave this video up. And Eva, what do you have?
Well, when talking about the state of Ohio and going into northern Ohio, what some weather watchers have been reporting, and again, this is unconfirmed, of course, but they think they saw a tornado near Kent State University. So Kent State University is located in Portage County, northeastern Ohio, and so weather watchers in that area think that they may have seen a tornado there around the campus. And Kent State, of course, has a lot of branch campuses ranging from Trumbull County to, I believe, Ashtabula as well. So we'll keep a lookout as to that area, of course, as well. But this is what we're getting out of our newsroom right now. As far as any damage, like in the Cambridge Springs area or Crawford County area, we're not hearing a lot of it at this time, but we are keeping a close ear on the police scanners as well, and of course any calls that might be coming into our newsroom for people in that viewing area. So if you are in an impacted area and you want to kind of call us into our newsroom, we're going to put a number out here for you. This is a newsroom number that you can call. It is 814-454-5201. Again, our newsroom line is 814-454-5201. And you can also log on to our website at erienewsnow.com. We have a See It, Shoot It, Send It page where you can upload photos. So if you want to snap a picture, if you're in the Crawford County area of your backyard, of wherever you're at, that could, help us in getting the message out and kind of giving a bigger picture as to what's going on, we would really appreciate that as well. John, we'll send it back over to you.
All right, we're taking a closer look at Doppler max now, and Sagertown all the way up to Rockdale, Cambridge Springs. We're seeing the heaviest of the showers and thunderstorms. I'll be able to, let's see, put the current hail on here for you, and let's take a look to see if we can see some of the hail. That area covered in red there for the hail there. We are seeing some hail, and also reports of hail out towards into Crawford County, Woodcock, and Venango. Reports of quarter size to $half size hail likely across that section. Also, storm in the northeastern part of Crawford County showing 85, showing rotation out. Okay, this is this technical stuff. So we are seeing rotation within the radar at this moment out here into Crawford County. And again, the tornado warning has been extended throughout the entire Crawford County area as well. So all in all, I'm being told to toss to Eva. Yeah, go ahead.
Just in, John, some new information out of Crawford County and specifically the Union City Area School District. We are getting word that they are holding all students at school until the storm passes. So we know we have that 3:45 time frame right now, but a message in from the Union City Area School District holding all students at school until the storm passes. John?
All right, yeah, Eva, just feel free to break in anytime you have anything. You don't need me to toss to you there, just to let you know there, but thank you for that information. So yeah, there's no question that we have a huge, serious, severe situation going on. Rotation is being seen in the thunderstorms that are moving across northern parts of Crawford County. This is north of Meadville. Edinburgh, you're seeing some heavier showers. Wattsburg as well across the area. So if you're just joining us, let's start again. We, by the way, will be on the air until the tornado warning is over. That is until 3:45 at this moment, unless it is extended and goes on through Warren County right now. We're seeing these storms travel popping up this afternoon right around 2 o'clock or so, as you can see here, entering into Crawford County, moving out to the east about 50 miles an hour. And you can see here that we are seeing some severe impact from the storms. Anytime you see these symbols, there's something going on. And right now I can tell you that we do have hail that's been indicated, reported to the National Weather Service, anywhere between a quarter and probably a quarter to a half dollar size. That's how they do it for you. And I'm talking about 3/4 of an inch, very possible across the area. And you can see where the heavier showers and storms are right now. This is live lightning. We'll be able to see the lightning moving up, but we are seeing very intense lightning moving up just to the west of 19 out there near Hayfield. We're seeing some lightning and some fresh lightning just north of Bloomfield as well, as this system moves to the heavier stuff, at least to the south of Rockdale, Cambridge Springs as well, along Route 86 down to 406, and it is traveling out to the east at 50 miles an hour at this time. Those are some of the towns that should be on the lookout, preparing yourselves to keep yourself, your family safe as this system does move on through the area. We are looking at, I'm going to repeat here some stuff if you're just joining us. Sorry about that. Flying debris could be dangerous, and of course those caught without shelter are in harm's way. Very dangerous situation. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed, damage to roofs, windows, vehicles will occur. If you're watching us in a car, if you're watching us on Facebook, online, in a car, possibly on a tablet or a mobile device, you really should seek shelter immediately. And of course, tree damage is likely, and that's also a big concern with the rain for the last 2 days. We have soft soil, weakening trees with strong winds. Some trees could come over, and that could cause some damage. You don't even necessarily need to see the tornado for that to happen. Just some strong winds could cause that. So Riceville, Titusville, Lincolnville, Conneautville Lake, Guys Mill, you could see some potentially dangerous situations moving within your area within the next few minutes. You should take shelter immediately across the area. Now remember, the previous tornado warning that was in effect has been extended. Here are some of the highlights from the storm just a few moments ago. We're seeing very large hail with this, almost an inch in size. Also, the hail impact is very high, the wind impact's very high, and this type of storm is called a mesocyclone, and this means that a tornado warning will be issued, and it has been extended. Right now, parts of the county have been rekindled, it looks like, out here. Remember, we did see this part of the county, they canceled the tornado warning, but now have reissued it, and that's right outside of Meadville, out towards Lineville. This would probably include Conneautville Lake as well, out towards Linesville, Andover as well. So watch out as we progress throughout the afternoon for you. The tornado warnings that are still in effect till 3:45, pretty much this one will be as well. The yellow there for Erie County, for Crawford County, at this moment is a tornado watch that's in effect until 11 p.m. tonight. So that is something to keep an eye on for you. You can see there that would include Ashtabula County, Crawford County, Erie County, Trumbull County. So if you are out and about tonight and the weather changes immediately, you should seek shelter just as fast as we head on into the evening hours. So this will last until 11 o'clock. The tornado watch, tornado warning still in effect until 3:45 or so. Starting to see a little bit of darkening skies out here into Meadville. So that, of course, means that you're going to start seeing some storms moving into your direction, and you too should be on the lookout to be safe across the area. Remember, tornado safety. Get inside a sturdy building. If you're in a mobile home, please know where the safest, most sturdy shelter is. Get down, get as low in the building that you are in as possible. And once you're there, please cover yourselves, especially your heads, of course, pillows, blankets, helmets, etc. Anything that could stop debris from coming in and, of course, harming you as well. And all in all, this tornado warning is going to be in effect. We're still watching to see if it goes over to Warren County as well.
Okay, and Eva here again, we had just a short while ago mentioned some information about Kent State University, and you know there's a lot of branch campuses, with the main campus of Kent State University being in Portage County. We had mentioned that there had been a weather watcher out there among one of the campuses that had spotted what they thought was a tornado, and I'm just looking at the Kent State University Twitter feed right now, which says on the Ashtabula campus that tornado was spotted by the National Weather Service, and students are being asked to seek shelter, of course, there on the Ashtabula campus. And we know that there in northeastern Ohio, the weather is continuing as to what's going on in our area as well. So from Crawford all the way out into northern Ohio. Mike Ruzzi is here on the desk with me. He has some information as well.
Eva, we have an update from the National Weather Service out of Cleveland. Tornado reported by a train spotter 5 miles east of Conneautville in Crawford County, and a tornado struck a nursing home. Again, a tornado reported by train spotter 5 miles east of Conneautville in Crawford County, and the tornado struck a nursing home. That's a report from the National Weather Service. I'll give you a copy of that. And Eva, we do have crews on the scene. Andrew Hyman is on his way, and we'll be further looking into that situation that we just reported there in Crawford County.
Yeah, and that's pretty scary too when you hear that a tornado strikes at a nursing home, because you know, those are folks there that need certain things. They need oxygen. They need help, you know, because they may not be as mobile as some others out there. So, of course, we will continue to follow what happens there. And as you said, our Andrew Hyman is headed out to Crawford County as well. And we do want to update you, too. We mentioned this earlier as well, that in the Union City Area School District, all students will be held at school until the storm passes, and we know that still is quite some time. So a lot of times, you know, during the school day, Mike, things end around 3 o'clock, but now today, in the effort to be precautionary, those students will be held close at hand.
And again, out of the National Weather Service out of Cleveland, a tornado reported by a train spotter 5 miles east of Conneautville, this in Crawford County, and the report saying a tornado has struck a nursing home. And John Stalen is back with us now in studio. John?
Just give me 1 second here as I adjust a few things on our map. And right now we are seeing a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for Warren County. So I wouldn't be surprised if this tornado warning is extended out there as well. So let's take a look at some of the information I'm seeing from the storm here from Doppler Max. You can see there, we're looking at immense lightning impact from this cell moving on through. Wind packs very strong, also hail. Now we're looking at hail that could be anywhere between 1 inch and 1.5 inches in size that is moving on through south of Cambridge Springs at the moment. And we're also going to zoom on in here, take a look at some of the towns affected, some of the roadways there as well. We're looking at Greytown Hills, Gravel Run, Friends Out into Swamp Road, Brown Hill Road as well. If you live in this area, please take shelter immediately as it crosses 408 at this moment out towards Riceville, Steuben. You're also seeing the effects. So let me pull this back and we'll take a look at the storm as it moves on off to the east. Remember, a severe thunderstorm warning has just been posted as well. Here are some of the towns that are affected in this as well, and that would include Titusville, Pleasantville, Southwest, Triumph, Tiddyoute, Youngsville, Broken Straw, Pleasant, the city of Warren, of course, most of Warren County, and of course, Meade as we head on in towards the 4 o'clock hour. So this is going to be with us for a little bit now. Remember that our severe thunderstorm warning, I'm going to give you the information on that at this moment. And you can see there that is until 4:30 this afternoon. So the severe thunderstorm warning, remember with a severe thunderstorm, you can get tornadoes within it, and hence would make it more severe than that, of course, as well. Let's take a look at, let's see here, sorry. So we're going to take a look at the watches and the warnings for you across the area so you're just aware of what's going on. And you can see there. And now we have flood advisories out for McKean County. So this system expected to stay with us for a little bit as we progress into the afternoon hours, at least until the 4 or 5. And there's a tornado warning. We have the severe thunderstorm warning. We have the tornado watch in yellow up there. And that is for Erie, Crawford, and of course for Trumbull and Ashtabula counties as well. Let's just dip right on into Meadville and see what's going on there. Okay, the sky's still a little ominous out there, not seeing much in the way of rain, but seeing some windy and gusty conditions right now. Bob Ferranda World Cam for you, 73 degrees there, and we are looking at some gusty and strong winds for the most part as we head on through the afternoon, and at least for the next hour or so. So let's recap for a lot of folks who may be just joining us at 3:17. At about 2:38 this afternoon, a radar indicated rotation of the radar indicated a tornado just to the north of Linesville and to about 14 miles outside of Meadville. This system continues to off to the east around 50 miles an hour. You can see the storm is gaining some traction up here into Chautauqua County, out into parts of Corey, of course, out into parts of Erie County, and now starting to creep on into Warren County for the afternoon hours. As we zoom on in here, you'll be able to see some towns. Cambridge Springs, Hayfield, also seeing the effects just to the north of Meadville, out towards Townville, Bloom Valley. You should be taking the necessary precautions to stay safe and to protect yourself and your family out into Rome, Titusville, out to Sparta as well. And as we head on in towards the next hour or so, here are some of the towns that could be affected out here. Triumph, Tiddyoute, Youngsville, Broken Straw, Pleasant, Warren as well. You have plenty of time in Warren to protect yourselves in case these tornado warnings do cross the line. But remember, severe thunderstorm warnings also pose a threat for tornadic activity. Let's take a look at what we have for you. I believe that we might have some pictures for the
John, this is just outside of Conneautville.
Okay.
We just got this picture into the newsroom just outside of Conneautville, and again, probably about 10 minutes ago, a report from the National Weather Service in Cleveland, John, a tornado was reported by a spotter about 5 miles east of Conneautville in Crawford County, and a tornado struck a nursing home. And as you can see, heavy damage there to the rooftop, John. That is in Conneautville.
Yeah, so that's in Crawford County, of course, just a few miles from where the radar indicated tornado was. So that was pretty much on the ball there. So we are going to continue to watch that. Also out there towards Venango, out towards Woodcock as well, we do have reports of large hail that's moving on through. So we come back here, take a look at this. You can see here, I took off the radar. You can see the immense lightning with this system that is moving on through the area. Once again, the storm moving very quickly, but it's a very large storm, and it's packing an impact so far. So the severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning till 3:45. So that's another 20 minutes or so. Out tornado watch all into the yellow. We're seeing severe thunderstorm activities with the severe lightning and some gusty strong winds that are moving across the area. So again, watch out. This is a very large area in which to cover, and it's very long as well. So therefore, even though it's moving very quickly, it covers basically all of Crawford County and parts of Ashtabula County as well as it moves off to the east here, packing a very serious punch. Now seeing a little bit of a change here into Meadville, into the skies. I see them to be a tad darker out there. Still not seeing much in the way of rain, but still there is some gusty wind out there. And so you folks who are here into parts of Crawford County, you don't have that tornado warning that's in effect. You do, however, should take the necessary precautions to be safe. Get indoors, just get down and cover up as well.
And you know, we also want to talk about if you know somebody who's traveling right now in a vehicle, that's not really the safest place to be. If you do know somebody who is traveling and they can't get to a shelter, then probably the best course of action is to kind of get down in your car, cover your head, maybe even, you know, disable your car, and if you got to get out, seek shelter in kind of a low-lying area like a ditch or even a ravine. But those, again, are some tornado safety tips that we have been putting up. John has been talking about, you know, over the course of time being here live on TV. And
all right,
it's nothing to joke about.
Across Highway 77, just northwest of Townville, PA. This is from the National Weather Service. Tornado likely still on the ground. If you live in Townville, the tornado, apparently, according to spotters out there from the National Weather Service, still on the ground as it crosses Highway 77. So I'm going to come on in here for you, take a look at where that is across the area. So we're looking at this tornado crossing 77 out towards Townville. So this is it right here. I'm trying to see where 77 is. There you go there. So this here is 77. And you can see where Townville is here. So at this moment, they're saying that there could be a tornado out into this direction, right along Route 77. As we head on closer, this is interesting. So there's Lyons Road, there's Route 408, New Richmond, Little Cooley, Steuben. At this moment, there are reports of a tornado still on the ground into that area. Rotation and tornado supercell is strong just west of Townville, Pennsylvania. So that's what we're looking at right now. Here's Townville. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to look a little bit closer here, see if I can see some of this rotation. We're looking at those heavier, strong showers and thunderstorms. I mean, associated with this as well, we should see some very heavy rains. This is where the tornado warning is in effect till 3:45, so that's another 22 minutes from now. And you can see that we are seeing some very heavy rain and, of course, lightning into that area. And that is suspected where a tornado could be on the ground. They don't stay on the ground too long, so I don't expect that it would still be there. I'm sorry, I'm reading. Conneautville, Pennsylvania, crossing Highway 18, Highway 198 at this time. If you live near Conneautville, Pennsylvania, a supercell is moving on through. A tornadic supercell with a hook echo into the radar is moving across your area at this time. You should take shelter immediately.
I want to break in here because we have some information about power outages right now. This is Eva and Mike Ruzzi at the desk here, and we just got information from our newsroom about 1,500 people with power out in Conneautville. And Mike, you have a closer breakdown in Crawford County.
Yeah, in Meadville, Eva, over 6,100 without power right now. That's probably the biggest number that we're looking at. First Energy, Penelect breakdown for us. Also, we have two crews on the way. Andrew Hyman is on his way to Crawford County along with Amanda Post. So we have our crews out and about checking on storm damage. And
we mentioned earlier as well, in Conneautville, there was a nursing home that was struck by the storm. And what we've learned, we believe that it's the Rolling Fields Nursing Home in Conneautville, and that's where our Andrew Hyman is headed. And right now, here's an image on your screen also out of Conneautville. Yeah, this picture came in about 15 minutes ago, and you can just see the heavy damage to the rooftop of this facility, and that is also in Conneautville, Eva. Okay, so that, of course, is an area that we're going to be focusing on, as John Stalin, again, was talking about Townville. John, what are you seeing at this moment?
Well, if you're in Conneautville where that damage was done, I would stay inside in a shelter. You have extreme hail apparently coming down into your area at this time with a tornadic rotation on the south side of the town. So large hail very likely in Conneautville, Pennsylvania at this time with the tornadic rotation on the south side of town. So if you live in the south side of town of Conneautville, we're looking at some tornadic activity with some strong hail and, of course, tornadic winds possible as this system moves on through. Now, you can see the heavier stuff north of Sagertown, but as I go back towards Conneautville, this is our concern right now. And you can see, when I say you see these symbols on the screen, this means that there is some severe weather into that area. So we are looking at extreme lightning. We're looking at a very impactful hail situation going on right now. And, of course, the hail at this moment looks to be about an inch in diameter in that area. So for our viewers, for our residents, our friends into Conneautville, especially the south side, and you can see there that the strongest part of the storm is to the south at this moment, right about there. We're seeing some very heavy rotation, and we're also seeing large hail falling over Conneautville at this time. I'm just reading, and new stuff comes on in. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Riceville, 17 miles east of Meadville. It's moving to the east at 35 miles an hour. So the system has slowed down a little bit, allowing more of these warnings to pop up. There is a second severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Venango. That is also moving out to the east at 35 miles an hour. I'm going to draw, get you into a bigger view here for you, and you can see what we're looking at here as we move. So I'm going to go to, let's go to this cell here. I'm going to draw this. I'm going to go, let me go out here for you. And here are some of the towns that you really should take shelter immediately. Hayfield, Black Corner, Sagertown, Fountain House Corners, Cambridge Springs, State Correctional Institution, Rockdale, Townville, of course, and Bloomfield as well. Those are some of the issues that some of the towns that will have some impactful situations with this weather as it moves on through over the course of the next, we're looking at possibly the next hour or so. We're still only looking for this tornado warning to be in effect till 3:45, but the National Weather Service has increased the lengths of the original and the area as well. So this could continue for quite some time as this storm seems to be slowing down just a little bit across the area. As I take a look here, let's go to this and take a look at the massiveness of the storm that are moving on through. We're still in that orange there into Warren County. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. The red is the tornado warning that is moving on through Crawford County at this time. And again, I'm going to take a look at what some of these markers are telling me here for us. We're also looking at a mesocyclone still. Impactful winds, very strong winds, very large hail, 3/4 of an inch hail. This would be into the near Bloomfield or so. And then the one into the red we'll take a look at. And this one will say pretty much the same thing, larger hail associated with this. Wind impact not as strong, but the hail impact is pretty good out in this area, and the lightning impact as well is pretty intense. So please, again, if you live into these areas, please take shelter immediately. Get indoors, seek a sturdy building, get down, cover up, use pillows, blankets, and helmets as we head in over the next 20 to 25 minutes until the tornado warning has expired. But at the same time, I'm still looking out for places out into Warren County. As I take a look at our National Weather Service, we are literally connected with the National Weather Service right now, getting live information as we go ahead. I'm just taking a look at this.
John, why don't you go ahead and take a look?
Yeah.
We have some information we can update you on that nursing home in Conneautville. Eva, the Rolling Fields Elder Community Care Center, it opened in 1968. It was renovated, or an addition, in 1979. And again, the first report came out by the National Weather Service out of Cleveland by a spotter that 5 miles east of Conneautville in Crawford County, a nursing home was struck. And again, that was shortly after 3 o'clock this afternoon. Rolling Fields, it opened in 1968.
Yeah, so it's been around for a long time. Now, on your screen right now is a home in Conneautville. It is not that nursing home, but we do have a crew headed to the scene. Our Andrew Hyman is headed there to Conneautville, where when he gets on scene, will be giving us updates. And we also wanted to alert you once again to the number of people who have power out, 1,500 in Conneautville, and of course others in Crawford County as a whole.
In Meadville alone, Eva, over 6,100. And you have an update from the Union City School District as well?
Yeah, it was that the Union City Area School District was going to be holding all the students at school until the storm passes. And according to the Meadville Tribune as well, because of the warning that was issued, students at Pencrest were being held until 3:45, or will be held until 3:45. And that was according to a social media post. But that information on the website of the Meadville Tribune as well. So Crawford Central School District saying that it was going to be holding its MASH and MAM students, or MASH.
Meadville area school, high school, and middle school students until 3:45. And at that time, they will be dismissed. So we're talking a little over about 13 minutes from now. For that's Meadville area high school district, also the Meadville area middle school as well, until 3:45. Their school district holding the students until another 12 or 13 minutes from now.
And we want to let you know that we have that see it, shoot it, send it category on our website at erienewsnow.com. So if you're in an impacted area and are able to take a picture and send it to us, that would be great. But your first line of defense is to keep yourself safe. And we have been putting those tornado tips out, and we'll send it back to John for that.
Yeah, this is a fiery situation right now. We are watching out here into Blooming Valley, just to the north of Blooming Valley. I'm going to put my camera on just for a second here. Out to the north of Blooming Valley, we are looking at a secondary tornadic cell that is just into the west side of the county, obviously just to the north of Blooming Valley. We're watching that very carefully. Of course, you are under the tornado warning at this time. You really need to seek shelter out here into Blooming Valley. Again, get to the lowest point of the house. Stay away from windows. I know that we suggest some pictures, but honestly, I'd rather see pictures once it's all over and you're safe. You need to seek shelter immediately. We're also concerned about Conneautville as well. We are still seeing that it's supercell moving on through this area. We already have the reports of a possible touchdown. And by the way, the National Weather Service already has a team going out to Conneautville and out to Crawford County to check out and assess damage, so we can then possibly confirm if it was a tornado or not. Unfortunately, we can't confirm that till they tell us that. But nonetheless, I know there is damage there. There's a team going to assess it. But two areas of concern right now out here towards Conneautville. We're looking at that supercell with rotation to the southwest of there. We're watching that. Also Centerville. We're also watching another system out towards your area, another supercell with rotation in it. That's something that we need to make sure that you are inside a sturdy building. You're not outside taking pictures and looking for a funnel cloud. This is not a smart idea. When those winds pick up, they pick up things and they move at they move at a really great speed. Apparently we have another picture. Let's take a look at this on the screen of what's going on. Okay, there I believe we're either seeing rain or some hail there, but also we're seeing damage to a rooftop out here. And this is from Facebook, Teresa Paxton. Thank you for that. And you can see that there's some more damage. I'm looking at the grass there. I'm not a trained damage analyst, I guess you could say, analyst, but I can see some grass that is actually patted down just a little bit. I'm not sure what that means, but nonetheless, if you look into the center of your screen there, we're definitely looking at some roof damage there from Teresa Patton. This comes from Facebook. So we really do have a serious situation going on into Crawford County. Again, we are going to stay on till these tornado warnings have been canceled. Of course, we have crews down into Crawford County. As soon as they're safe and possibly ready to go, maybe we can hear from them. I'm also worried about Warren County. As you can see here, you have orange there. You have a severe thunderstorm warning in the entire area, and that would include Erie, Crawford, Erie, Crawford County out into McKean County, you're under a tornado watch, and that is in effect until 11 p.m. tonight. As you can see here, as we pop these up for you all across the region, violent weather could be, so if you have outdoor plans tonight, and you are in a safe area at this moment, meaning Erie County and not in the zone of the tornadoes, it would be best to have an alternate plan for this evening. I'm also looking to see what these watches are now too. So now we officially have flood warnings in effect for Ashtabula and Crawford County until 9:30. So this is packing a punch, not only with the tornado warning, but also with the rain amount, because it became a fast mover to a slower mover, and now we have that flash flood warning that's in effect for Crawford and Ashtabula counties until later tonight, till about 9:30 or so. I'm going to take a look at this flood warning here. We're looking at towns that should experience flooding. It would be Meadville, Titusville, Cambridge Springs, Linesville, Riceville, Harmonsburg, Lincolnville, Canandaigua Lake, Guys Mill, Pymatuning, Springboro, Blooming Valley, Townville, Spartansburg, and Venango. In the hilly terrain, there are hundreds of low water crossings which will potentially be dangerous with the heavy rain. You should not attempt to cross flooded roads. Find an alternate route. And of course, a flash flood warning means flooding is either imminent or occurring. It's either happening or will occur. So please do not drive in flood water. I'm just...
Check in with you real quick. From the Titusville Area School District, Titusville will not be sending students home on buses until after the warning expires at 3:45. Again, Meadville Area High School, Meadville Area Middle School also holding students until 3:45. John?
That's a really good idea, and I'm not sure what's going on into Warren County at this time, as these if these cells are going to hold together, we're definitely going to have some situations out there in towards Tiddyoute, and of course Titusville possibly as we head on in. You can see these storms just racing across Crawford County, and it looks like there's no end to them as they just continue to look like they elongate for over the last hour or so, and they are going to continue into that fashion, it looks like. But these polygons here show us right to the north of Meadville. That's where the tornado warning, okay, now a tornado warning has now been posted for Warren County. Warren County is now under a tornado warning, and that means that, let me get the information on this right now. I knew that would happen. Tornado warning until 4:45 this afternoon. We're looking at towns such as, of course, Warren, possibly Sheffield, to the south of Warren, I should say. That would include Tiddyoute, which we were just talking about 2 minutes ago. That was one of my concerns. Tornado and ping pong ball size hail. That's giant hail, my friends. That could be extremely severe, obviously, and cause a lot of damage. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing this tornado was located near Titusville, moving east at 35 miles an hour. A weather spotter reported a funnel cloud. So a funnel cloud was reported for the tornado warning that has just been issued for Warren County. Damages to roof, windows, all vehicles, of course, will occur. Damage is likely. Of course, you need to do as much as you possibly can to save your lives and save the lives of others by getting inside a sturdy building out there into Warren County. Get down, get as low in the building as possible, and please cover up. Use pillows, blankets, and of course helmets as well to protect yourselves. That warning means that isn't still effect until 4:45. This is what we're looking at on a big scale right now across the area as these storms from Crawford County start moving on in. But look at the intense, I'm going to stop this here. Look at the intense lightning with this system right there. And we're looking at an enormous amount of lightning that's falling and continues to fall with the flashes that you see here on on Doppler Max right now, and all in all, this is going to cause some obviously some issues with some strong winds. We also have the reports of strong hail. Okay, this just out. We are reissuing. They're reissuing Crawford County. The warnings will cover the warnings that expire at 3:45. They're going to reissue the tornado warnings into Crawford County, the ones that expire in 5 minutes. So again, you have friends, you have neighbors, you are watching us right now on television. You need to seek shelter immediately and make sure that you call your friends, tell them to take cover and to be extremely safe. I want to take a look at what's going on here in Meadville with our live cam. You can see those darkening skies out there. This is South Main and Linden, of course, so we're not seeing any rain associated with this, but the skies are darkening, and the tornado warning for Crawford County just stops right to the north of Meadville. Again, Mother Nature does not know our boundaries, so therefore you too should do what you need to make sure that you're safe in case the weather changes at any given moment.
Just a reminder, some tornado shelter tips. Obviously, the safest place in the basement or an interior room, stairwell or hallway on a low floor. You know, avoid the windows, Eva, the doors, and of course the outside walls. And you also called up some tips about driving in these conditions.
Yeah, and just to backtrack a little, if you are at home, if you are in a building and you have something that can cover you, maybe a basement, you know, do that. Blankets, a mattress, anything that could be used for protection against, you know, any possible head injuries. But again, you want to stay away from windows, doors, and of course outside walls. And Mike, I know that you wanted to talk a little bit more if you're on the road.
Yeah, if you're on the road right now, and John already touched on this, but just a reminder, you know, don't drive into floodwater that's moving or more than 4 inches deep. Take your time, drive slowly, and of course afterwards test your brakes as soon as you can. So just some tips if you are out driving, and you can listen to us to keep in mind. John?
Yeah, I'm still, I'm just doing some reading here. My concerns are still for parts of Crawford County. I'm still reading here.
Okay, go ahead. We'll just, a reminder for parents in Crawford County, Meadville Area School District, the high school and middle school, they're holding students at the school until at least 3:45. Also, Titusville as well until at least 3:45.
Yeah, and you know what, if you do have to go down in your basement, or if you're at work, because many people, you know, at this hour of the day, if they do work, they're probably still in the work day. So if you are seeking shelter and trying to watch us on TV, please note that you can watch us on the Erie News Now app. Take it down to a lower location on your phone and tune us in that way, and you can watch us in the app while still trying to take cover. Of course, this is you know, the new developments over the course of the past half hour or so, now including Warren, and John has more details on that.
Warren County, yeah, that is until 4:30 or so. I'm sorry, I'm looking at, I'm trying to see some of this hail issues that we're having there, and you can see here, if I stop this, that color there, that represents the hail into the area. And let me change the legend here for you, put that on there. So this is, you know, it's bigger than pea-size hail, but smaller than most hail. That blue there that represents, as you can see here, we're seeing that right to Hayfield. Out into Conneautville, we were reporting some large hail as well. Now remember, these are Doppler estimated sizes, so they could be different once they hit the ground, but that's where some of the hail issues that we're having, Route 198, 98 as well, out towards Hayfield, out at 18 in Conneautville. We're seeing that kind of hail into that direction. Seeing a little hail along 408 south of Rockdale, just to the east, northeast of Blooming Valley, and out towards Steuben. We're also seeing some hail, some moderate size hail, as you can see, moving out to the east along, about to cover Route 8 out there, and out towards Rome. And just to the north of 408. So that is the hail situation that we're possibly going to see, well, we're seeing right now across the area. And that's all where we're seeing. A little bit just to the west of Corey, earlier on, and of course Conneautville out towards Blooming Valley as well, north of Townville. That's where we're seeing some of the hail. So that's exactly right where if I put on the radar for you here, you'll be able to see right along where that system is. So we are still watching as we move out here just to the north of Titusville. This is our supercell that we are very concerned about at this time. I'm going to dissect this for you and forgive.
While you're taking a look at that, we have some numbers again from Penelect. And in Crawford County right now, Eva, we have how many out?
Just over 33,000 customers without electricity. And, you know, we had earlier received that there was like 1,500 customers within Conneautville, and that it seems to be at least a particularly hard-hit area. But we also have some video, if we're able to bring it up, from Guy's Mills. And this is from viewer Bradley Bowes, and this is from along Route 77 in Guy's Mills. And if we have that. Okay, we're going to try this again to see if we can bring this to you. And it's a Facebook video that he sent us and uploaded. So again, you could check out the sky above there along Route 77 in Guy's Mills. Again, thank you, Bradley Bowes, for sending this along. But it's just one of the images that we've received. And you could also see, you know, the movement there in the sky pretty clearly.
And Eva, earlier we received a picture of a home in Conneautville where the roof, plenty of damage there, and of course the earlier report of the Rolling Fields community care, elder community care community, a nursing home that was hit, struck by a tornado. That report coming from the National Weather Service in Cleveland. But we're looking at video again provided by Bradley Bowes on Route 77 near Guy's Mills. Some incredible pictures that he sent.
Yeah, there were reports in that area of some heavy hail and some strong gusty winds. I look at this video here. Of course, it's really hard to see if it's touching the ground, but there are reports of some damage to that area. We have been reissued tornado warnings here in Crawford County. This is new information right now. 4:15 for basically the western portion of Crawford County. Out towards the eastern portion, we're until 4:30, so that's been extended from 3:45 to 4:30 and out into Warren County until 4:45 as this system moves on through. You're looking at live Doppler max right now. These are live lightning strikes that basically happened just momentarily, just moments ago. As you can see the lightning popping on up across the area. This is how big this system is. It is moving. It stretches from Warren County all the way back, basically all the way back into Crawford County, and it looks like this is going to continue until at least 4:30. So the eastern portion, we're looking for 4:15. The tornado warning will last till 4:30. So that's another 42 minutes from now, and also out into Warren County, we're at 4:45. I just want to keep seeing, because this kind of inching slower and slower out towards Meadville, and we can see, oh, okay, now we can see the lowering of the clouds. We can see some rain shafts as well here into Meadville. So we're seeing the conditions starting to change out here in Meadville. You can see the winds on the trees are starting to pick up. Usually if you see the winds starting to pick up, if you start feeling or seeing, I should feel, or see hail coming on down, that means you need to seek shelter immediately. And I'm seeing a very changing sky right here. Just the last time we didn't see the lowering of these clouds and the darkness of the sky, and these winds are starting to pick up greatly out here. So these people in a car or so really, you know, obviously they can't see me, but you should seek shelter. If you have to leave the house at this time, I wouldn't do that. I would wait till these storms have gone through before it's all done. And again, I'm not sure if anybody can move this Meadville cam for me. That would be fantastic. I'm talking to the engineers here. That would be great if we have the remote there. But nonetheless, that's what we're seeing right now. Turn it basically to the right a little bit. Take a look at the tornado safety for you if you are heading out and about. You are in these areas. Get down, get in, cover up. Very simple rules to keep yourself safe from the family. I don't really care to see video. I don't want to see a video. I mean, if you're a distance away and it's safe, that's fine, but it's not important for a picture or that at this time. I honestly don't care about it. So let me just take a look at this. Do you guys have anything over there?
Yeah, John, the tornado warning has been extended to 4:15 by the National Weather Service for the Crawford County area. And again, all the school districts, in that area, Meadville Area High School, Meadville Area Middle School, Titusville, they are not going to release students from the school EVA until everything is clear. But right now, the tornado warning has been extended to 4:15. That's by the National Weather Service in Crawford County.
And we do have crews out, one in Conneautville, one in Cambridge Springs, and we've been talking over time here about that nursing home in Conneautville, the Rolling Fields Elder Care Community that was hit by a tornado. And reports out of Crawford County and that Conneautville area is that there were some streets leading up to that nursing home that were blocked, maybe for around a mile around there, and it was because of potential, this is reportedly potential gas leaks. And so that is a concern out there in that area. Power outage in Conneautville as well. We were seeing just a short while ago that Route 90 or Route 77 video from Guy's Mills with that very active sky above. And I think we're going to bring that up again. Yes, and that was again compliments of Bradley Bowes via Facebook. Thank you, Bradley, for sending that along. And we've been mentioning, yes, it's great to see the pictures, to see videos, but as John had mentioned too, you got to keep yourself safe first. That is your number one priority, keeping yourself, keeping your family safe, and whoever might be around you safe as well. And we've been putting those tips up on the screen, just of the best place to go. We know, you might be watching us in different locations here, whether you're home, whether you're at work, or, in an alternate location.
And avoid the windows, even avoid the doors, the outside walls. And as you mentioned before, cover yourself with a blanket or even a mattress for some protection. The safest place, basement or interior room, stairwell or hallway on the lowest floor. So just some tips to keep in mind. Stay away from the windows and doors. Head to the basement or an interior room. Yeah,
that's right. And we will be keeping you updated as much as possible. I am actually going to head to the newsroom right now, find out if there's any updated information that we can bring back to tell you about. And so I will be back shortly.
And before we throw it over to John, just a reminder, Penelec customers out in Meadville, over 6,100 and over 400 in Conneautville right now. John?
Yeah, let's recap what we're seeing. We're still under that tornado warning for much of Crawford County into Warren County. This started about 2:38 when the first tornado warning popped on up, and that included basically the northern third of Crawford County. Now we're watching the system still in our area, and it's now moving on into Warren County. Tiddyoute under a tornado warning at this moment, and Meadville as well. We're seeing the darkening skies for you. We'll check in on you in just a second. So, tornado warning, Crawford County, 4:15. This would be the western portions of Crawford County. The eastern portions of Crawford County until 4:30, and out into Warren County, we are looking at 4:45 for the tornado warning to expire. However, they have been extended here into Crawford County several times already this afternoon. So we are going to watch this move on through. We do have reports of funnel clouds. There are no reports of official tornado touchdowns, but I know that the National Weather Service has a team traveling to Crawford County as we speak to assess damage, and we should get that information this afternoon, hopefully as soon as possible. But you have seen some of the damage. Bob, I'm not sure if you're able to do that. Can you pop up some of the photos for me, if that's possible? And we can see some of the damage that has been reported. We have seen some funnel clouds in the air. There have been reports of extremely large hail as well. This comes to us from Teresa Paxton. And if you look in the center of your screen, we're seeing some extreme roof damage there from some possible winds, could be a possible tornado. I am seeing there a little bit of flattening of the grass. I'm not sure if that's from winds, from a tornado or so, but nonetheless that piques my interest just a little bit as I take a look at that picture. Another picture we have, I believe, is from Conneautville. This comes from Rena, and you can see there definitely roof damage there. Mike, is that the nursing home?
That is not, Joe.
That is not the nursing home. But we do have reports of that nursing home being hit by what is perceived to be a funnel cloud. Just not official, not saying people are wrong. I'm just saying it's just not official just yet. And if we have that video, we'll be able to see a funnel cloud in the sky twisting and turning, and there's no question that's a funnel cloud. What makes it a tornado is if it touches the ground and it's some distance away. But if you take a look at the center there, we are seeing a little twisting motion, of course, right there for you. Very rope-like all the way down to the horizon, but of course we can't see if it touched the ground. But nonetheless, still strong winds, very impactful storms moving across the area. This is going to continue for some time now. So as we head on in, let's say close to 7 o'clock, we're still looking at Pleasantville. We're looking at the city of Warren being affected possibly. We're also looking at Meade out here into Warren County. This would include Triumph. We'll also include Sheffield, and then we get into McKean County, where you're under a severe thunderstorm warning at this time as well, and a tornado watch out into Kane and into Bradford. We'll watch that closely over the course of the next few hours. But as we take a look at the county lines here, here's Rome, here's Southwest, here's Tiddyoute. This is one of our concerned areas right now. We know Tiddyoute and is very familiar with tornadic activity, of course. Out towards Steuben, we're still seeing those heavier showers, but look at the intense lightning that we're seeing out here as this moves off to the east. Now at 35 miles an hour. Originally, it was at 50 miles an hour, so it slowed down and the system grew. It looked like it elongated out here. Now here are some of our watches in Warren. We have flash flood warnings in effect until 9:30 out here into Crawford County and into Andover. I know we're talking about the tornado. We know that that's devastating, of course, and very severe, but flash flooding is the #1 cause of death, severe weather deaths. So please, if you live in flood-prone areas and the storm is past you, please seek higher ground immediately. And of course, if you get to intersections, if you're driving and there's a lot of water, please do not drive through it. That too is a leading cause of death into flash flooding. And I left the lighting on here just to show the severity and give you an idea where that storm is. That red here extends from central portions of Crawford County, now out towards Sheffield to the southern portions of Warren County. It looks like the one back here into Meadville, north of Meadville and to the west rather, has been canceled. So that, of course, good news. So places like Conneautville Lake, Linesville, Conneautville, Springboro, you're out of the woods of the tornado warning, but we're still under a tornado watch until 11 o'clock, and that includes the city of Erie, Girard, Mill Creek, Edinburgh, Waterford, Union City, and Corey. We're still under a watch until 11 o'clock. We're also under a watch into Venango County, of course, parts south. Anywhere here you see yellow is a tornado watch, and that is in effect until 11 o'clock for tonight. You can see we're clearing out now over to the western portions of the county here in Crawford County. Still going to see some rain, maybe some lightning associated with it, but these supercells are still now moving out, crossing 79 and moving out into Warren County at this hour. This is the way Warren looks, just taking a look at what's going on there. 79 for you, looking pretty good. As I said, that system is now moving past you, so we should see some general clearing into that area, but still some gusty winds at that. So all in all, that of course, good news for our friends in the Meadville. But for the western portions of Crawford County, for Warren County, basically the southern third of the county, you should seek shelter immediately. If you live in a mobile home or an unsturdy building, you need to seek shelter in a sturdier building and get to the lowest floor of your home until the storm passes. You should cover up as well by using pillows and of course blankets, helmets, anything to protect yourselves. And Mike has a little bit more.
John, an update now from Corey. The Corey School District is also holding all students until severe weather passes through that area. And again, the warning has been extended to 4:15, another 15 minutes, by the National Weather Service for Crawford County. Now, school districts affected there, Meadville Area High School, Meadville Area Middle School, they are still holding students as well. The Titusville Area School District also holding students until the warning expires. And again, it goes back to just recapping a little bit, if you're just joining us now, shortly after 3 o'clock, the National Weather Service out of Cleveland have this report, a tornado reported by a trained spotter about 5 miles east of Conneautville in Crawford County. And that tornado struck a nursing home. That nursing home, Rolling Fields Elder Care Community, a facility that opened up in 1968, renovations there in 1979, and that happened just a little bit after 3 o'clock this afternoon. John?
Just checking in here. Just a few moments ago, police out towards, I'm just making sure here, Blooming Valley, this is what we're looking at on our screen right now. Reports of a funnel cloud by law enforcement. So law enforcement has said that they have seen a funnel cloud. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a tornado, but it's very likely that this could be causing damage into that area. Blooming Valley out there towards Penny Quarters in New Richmond. You really should be taking shelter at this moment. As I get this information in, we're starting to watch the storm near Perrysville, Ohio with rotation. So if this is moving east, I wouldn't be surprised to see more tornado warnings pop up for Crawford County. We'll watch that closely. Rotation near Bloomfield, and it says that a tornado likely trying to come down. So if you live in this area of Blooming Valley, especially to the north and out towards the east of this area out near Fountain House Corners, you should take shelter immediately into that interior portion of your home. Tornadic rotation west-southwest Townville. And Townville as well, Pennsylvania. We're still seeing rotation in the cell out there into Townville, as you can see right here. And we're watching this cell as this cell moves on through at this moment. And we'll put the storm track on, see if there's a storm track to look at. And this is basically probably the same one. We're still looking at very high winds, very impactful lightning out there as well. And now we're looking at hail potentially 2 inches in diameter as we head on into, I guess this would be the hour and a half. We've been on with an hour and a half with this storm going on. At least the warnings came out an hour and a half ago. So this is our concern right now as we take a look at Townville. I'm going to put on the hail, see what I'm seeing in the current hail activity as I take off the radar here for a second. And that does make sense here for this. So you can see here as we'll take a look at the legend that we are seeing some very large hail out here towards Blooming Valley. Let's put this on for you. There we go. So now we're into the purples. If you look at that legend, we're into the purples up here. Severe hail, pretty big size hail out here near Leona Road, Blooming Valley, Route 198, Route 77. This seems to be an issue for us, and this is where we're reports just a few moments ago from law enforcement where they saw a funnel cloud touch the ground out there into Blooming Valley. Train spotter reported hail, it says pea size here, about, I would say about a quarter of an inch to a half an inch in diameter. So there is confirmation of this hail out here into Blooming Valley. We're still waiting for confirmation of a tornado touchdown as well across the area. Also, if you have any information of what's going on with the storm, you can simply call us at 814-454-5201. Mike, I know there's some power outages and some school issues going on.
Yes, let's touch on the school issues first of all, John. The Titusville Area School District not releasing students until the severe weather goes through. Also, Corey Area High School, the Corey School District as well. Meadville Area High School, Meadville Area Middle School as well. They're still holding students until the severe weather goes through. I just want to do a reminder, you know, John talked about driving in this kind of weather, and try to avoid the standing water, you know, if you can. Don't drive into the flood water that's moving or more than 4 inches. Let approaching cars pass first. Just remember, take your time. Don't be in a rush. And then afterwards, take the time to test your brakes as soon as you can afterwards. So some just tips and reminders as well. Power outages, again, we're looking at it now, just over 500 in the Conneautville, Crawford County area right now without power. But again, the school districts that are not releasing students, Meadville Area High School, Meadville Area Middle School, Titusville Area High School as well as Corey School District as well. John?
All right, we're just we're monitoring the situation out here into Townville, out to Steuben. This is where some rotation in the radar is being indicated, and we're watching this here. So what would that be? Trianville Road. If you live in that area, I'm not sure how rural this area is or how populated it is, but this is seems to be an issue right now. So if you live in Mystic or near Mystic Park, Five Corners, Steuben, out across Route 8, this storm is moving out to the east at 35 miles an hour, and we are getting that there is some rotation in this in the clouds and to the radar as well. Large hail, of course, extremely likely that it's coming down in Townville and near there in the surrounding areas. So again, please take shelter immediately. I'm going to take another look at Warren Cam here just to see if things are clearing out, because the watches and warnings still cloudy out there, still a little breezy, but doesn't look as breezy as before, as we can see 79 there in the background. Things looking pretty normal out there, so that, of course, good news. We're going to take a look at the large radar here, work this for you a little bit. And see what's going on. Just recap for a lot of folks who are tuning in for their afternoon programs. Line of showers and thunderstorms just erupting just around 2:30 this afternoon, prompted the tornado warning to be in effect into the area. We're watching the system as it moves on off to the east about 35 miles an hour or so, and you can see now the heavier stuff is starting to move to the eastern portions of Crawford County into Warren County as well. And all in all, we are looking at severe thunderstorm warnings for Warren, but most importantly, obviously, is the the tornado warning that is in effect. So why don't I, Mike, if you could just wrap up a few things there. David is in. I'm going to talk to David for a few seconds, and these are the watches and warnings. We also have a flash flood warning that's in effect until 9:30, and this is obviously another dangerous component of any storm here for you, as these watches and warnings obviously are life-threatening situations. Mike?
All right, thanks, John. We just heard from Amanda Post. She is on her way to Cambridge Springs, and she has encountered very heavy rain en route to Cambridge Springs. Andrew Hyman is also on the road for us this afternoon. He is headed to Crawford County. And speaking of Crawford County, power outages there, over 500 without power right now. An update, if we can, on the school districts. Meadville Area High School, Meadville Area Middle School, they are still holding their students until the severe weather moves through. Titusville Area School District also holding students until severe weather moves through. And Corey Area High School, the school district in Corey as well, also holding students as well. Earlier we saw some video provided by Bradley Bowes, and he provided this video for us on Facebook, and it's from Guys Mills, right off of Route 97, and here it is, and you can see the cloud movement and the winds picking up as he records this video on Facebook for us. Again, this is Bradley Bowes. This happening just outside of Guys Mills, probably about 45 minutes ago. And again, we recap going back to shortly after 3 o'clock, where a nursing home in Crawford County, Rolling Fields Elder Care Community Nursing Home, was hit, and that was shortly after 3 o'clock this afternoon. John is back in place and has an update for us.
Just recap again until 4 4:45, we're on the air live until 4:45, seeing what's going on. We cannot leave the air with a tornado warning in the area, and already confirmed funnel clouds from law enforcement, from videos that you've just watched as well. So we're trying to save people's lives. I know sometimes this is inconvenient for some folks, but this is a major weather system. We do not see this kind of breakout very often in this area. I am not saying it's a breakout of many tornadoes, but we have reports on both sides of Crawford County of funnel clouds touching down. National Weather Service is on their way, or if they're not there already, it's not far drive, but nonetheless, we'll be in Crawford County momentarily to assess any kind of damage here. And also, David is mic'd up on Wireless 5. If you have anything to add, David, you can drive the bus if you want. It's fine. Things are looking pretty good for us through the western portions of the county because the tornado warnings have ceased to exist there. So that, of course, is good news. But the heavier showers and thunderstorms right now out here entering Warren County, major area of concern would be Titusville and, of course, Tiddyoute as well as we head on into that area. And then you can see here, David, you want to talk a little bit about the velocity going on?
Yeah, I switched our radar product here so that we get an indication of the wind field. And what we're looking for is green next to red, and we can clearly see that we have that indicated on radar right near Titusville. And so I'm going to put a pointer on the
or I
map
can
for
point to you there too, of course.
There we go. Yeah, I must forget you're up there. I'm sorry about that, John.
Right.
Yeah, so we've got that area of rotation right there, very close to Titusville. And obviously that's the rotation indicated by radar to where we may have another touchdown or potentially still a tornado on the ground as it does near the Titusville area.
And our other concern would be out towards Tiddyoute, and let's take a look what's going on over there.
Oh, out this way, yeah. I see. Out this way. Can't see as much rotation because the radar's scanning so high. But I guess if we switch back to regular radar, you can clearly see that that's where the tornado warning itself is. There's a ton of lightning with that.
Yeah, there's been a ton of lightning this afternoon as well. But yeah, Titusville out there, that's been an area of concern for the last half hour, as we've been talking about. Also out towards Tiddyoute too. I'd watch out for this too, as the supercell moving on through with tons of lightning at this time. But I would take a look at the hail, David. Let's switch to the hail just very quickly. We've had reports of very large hail across the area, and if it continues to be that way, as you can see, we're seeing some moderate hail out here towards Tiddyoute, and that's where all that lightning is, where that cell is. I'm not seeing much out here to Titusville and back out towards the north of Randolph, right around 428, seeing some Blooming Valley saw some heavier hail associated with this a little bit earlier along Route 408 as well. 127 out here, 62. All these roads that merge into Tiddyoute, these are the places where you don't want to be right now. And if you are, you should seek shelter inside an interior room in the home. Of course, away from the windows. Please go to the lowest floor. And if you're in mobile home, I mean, we say this over and over, but a lot of folks, they just don't get it. Please cover yourselves and protect yourselves if possible. David?
John, I just want to mention we have a new tornado warning. This is in effect until 4:45 for northeastern Venango County. This is this little sliver we see right here north of Cherry Tree. And I'll basically just read directly from the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh. Severe thunderstorm having a history of producing a tornado located near Titusville or 15 miles north of Oil City, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So this warning again in effect for about the next 30 minutes, and so much of this area we're looking at right now has the tornado warning in effect.
Yeah, let's look at the velocity again into this area, because that's really going to tell us what's going on so much live for us from Doppler Max. And you can see there, this is our area concerned right about there. Am I right, David? We're looking right there.
Yeah, this is very close to Titusville. If you're in Titusville right now, you definitely want to be in your safe place, and hopefully that's an interior closet away from windows, because this is the storm correct me if I'm wrong, John, this is the storm that has the history of producing the tornado.
Yeah, oh yeah, this cell
same
here,
one.
there's been 2 cells, David, over the course of the afternoon, and this cell has Blooming Valley. The law enforcement said that they did see a funnel cloud.
I read that report, yeah.
Yeah, so this is definitely the cell that's moving on through here, and you can see the colors there for you.
And we're actually starting to see a little bit more of that rotation actually over there near Tiddyoute.
Yes.
You can start to see some of that. That is basically right along 62 moving through Tiddyoute. So if you're in Titusville or Tiddyoute, right now you want to be in your safe zone, you want to be away from windows, and you want to be protecting your head, either maybe wearing a helmet or having pillows covering you and your loved ones.
Yeah, definitely we're seeing there. And those were the 2 areas we were concerned about a half hour ago as the system started moving into Warren County. It was Tiddyoute and into Titusville, and it looks like that has also sparked off the tornado warning for northern Venango County, north of Cherry Tree, up to the county lines of Warren and Crawford County. And also we're still seeing are we seeing hail yet out towards Titusville? I mean,
okay, let's look at hail really quick. Let me see where it is here. I had it just a second ago. Here we go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is a better product. I just turned on the Ville, so you can clearly see we got some big hail.
Yeah, big, major hail. If we're looking here, we're talking large hail, and you're talking ping pong size hail was reported. However, this could be larger than that, and you can see that right to the south and to the west of Rome, north of Randolph, right near Titusville. And this would be that cell that could have that tornadic activity for Titusville. And we're also seeing the increase in size for hail here into Tiddyoute, which really tells us that storm is a pretty massive storm, a massive supercell that could possibly produce a tornado. And again, if you're in Tiddyoute, you're Titusville, those are our major concerns, major area of concerns at this moment. Not to say other people shouldn't be concerned, but we're seeing the evidence now through Doppler Max and now the hail tracker showing that intense hail for you out there, and you can even see that strong light. Let's do a box in the lightning, David.
All right,
just to check it out here in Tiddyoute.
A ton of lightning out this way.
And you can that's the rainfall rate, but still a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's going to probably be hard to do. You got to be a little bit more.
Either way, yeah, you can just tell by all the strikes we've got. So we've got history of hail, we've got possibly a tornado, we've got a ton of lightning. So we have many dangers out there right now in southeastern Crawford County and southern Warren County.
Okay, Mike, do you have anything to include? Anything new?
Nothing new right now, John, except we want to remind everybody about the school districts. Students are being held at Corey School District, Meadville Area High School, Meadville Area Middle School, as well as the Titusville Area School District. So all these school districts right now are holding students until this severe weather passes through. An update on from Penelect on customers without power, again in Crawford County, a little over 500 right now in Crawford County without power. Want to remind everyone we have our Amanda Post headed to Cambridge Springs. She's checking out the situation there. And Andrew Hyman is on his way to Crawford County to check out the damage there. John?
David and I are just looking at some stuff here for you. Let's just recap here. David can catch up, and then you will just recap this here for you. David, you want to use the query on this as I point to. Let's show the tornado warnings first here for Warren, for Venango, and for Crawford County. That tornado warning in effect till 4:30. So we got another about 12 minutes or so on that one as we head into Warren County, 4:45 with that tornado warning. And now our area of interest is Tiddyoute at this time and to that immediate area. And Venango County also seeing that until 4:45 this afternoon as well out there to Venango County. That would be north of Cherry Tree, north of Oil City, out to the county lines of Crawford and into Warren County as well. So let's get rid of that. Show the tornado watch, which is really interesting because it's very rare. David will agree. We don't even see a severe thunderstorm watch, but we're seeing tornado watches, and these tornado watches are in yellow. They are until 11 p.m. for tonight. So we might get the bulk of this gone and then stuff could rekindle throughout the evening hours, and this does include Warren, Erie, Crawford County as well. And our other major concern, and David of course will back me up, is the flash flooding out here into Crawford County and into parts of Ashtabula County. The number one cause of severe weather death, flash flooding, and it is either occurring right now or is about to occur in some of these locations. And apparently, from what I understand, there are hundreds of low-lying crossings throughout Crawford County. So if you're familiar with those, if you think that you want to go out and about, please do not drive through flood waters. Turn around, don't drown, and of course the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect here into Warren County for the duration of, I think, the afternoon. So we're going to watch that very closely out there. David, you want to add anything?
No, I think you covered a lot of obviously what we're dealing with right now. In addition to the tornado warning in Warren County, basically the whole county is under a severe thunderstorm warning, and this goes, let's see, until 4:30, and that's because in addition to the threats we're already dealing with, the storms moving through could produce winds over 60 miles per hour and the potential for large hail. But obviously our main area of focus is where the tornado warning is at this time. I want to get another velocity scan here. Let's just see actually where the tornado itself might be.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and looking at this, it does look like it is pushing into Titusville. Let me give it a little loop just to see. Yeah, this is moving right into Titusville as we speak.
We're looking at this. So we're looking at the differences in colors. We're seeing this red here and we're seeing this green here. And this is where our area of concern is for Titusville at the present moment.
Yeah, so in Titusville, hunker down, stay in your safe zone. Tiddyoute. Also, we've got some of that rotation over your way along 62. John's going to point out.
Yeah, seeing a little bit of that change in the color there as well. And again, these have been our areas of concern. They're sticking to it now. We're also have seen a large hail reported, or at least indicated by Doppler and Doppler Max, that we're seeing some really intense hail into these areas as well, which is another sign that bad weather and, of course, tornadic activity is very possible out there. We probably want to get that other tracker on there.
Which tracker?
What was the other hail? Because this...
Oh, the hail. No, well, this is something that is found on one of our products.
The rotation
it's
tracker.
indicating.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
It's indicating rotation. It's not picking up too well on the one around Tiddyoute, but it's certainly. I mean, as you can see, John can point out the legend that we are getting certainly some rotation in there as it moves into Titusville.
Yeah, it's weak to low, but it's still rotation, so it doesn't really matter. We're still getting rotation out here, and hence the reason why we have the kind of look like the hail tracker. By the way, for a second.
I'll turn on hail tracker. Here's hail tracker.
Yeah,
that storm is pretty big. This thing's throwing down some big hail.
Yeah, this is pretty massive hail out here. You can see on the legend that it gets up to large. And let's switch back to the rotation. And so sometimes we look at both of these and we can indicate that there is a situation going on out here. And you can see this is moving at a pretty decent clip, actually, because this has just moved a little bit out here towards Titusville. Let's take a break from this. We do have some video from Andrew Hyman, some of the rain, I believe, that he had brought through the area. Of course, we get back to Doppler Max in a second, and we'll see some of that video. Here is some of that video. I believe this is in parts of Crawford County. I'm not sure the exact location, but you can see some of that heavier rain associated with that. Some of those trees are very windy out there. Of course, Andrew, being safe, is not driving. He's taking this from the passenger seat. And you can just see the change of weather and what a lot of folks in Crawford County had to deal with, minus the wind. And now this is why we're concerned about the flash flooding possibilities. You're under a flash flood warning until 9:30 in parts of Crawford County. So low-lying areas, please take the necessary precautions to stay safe. Also, if you're doing any kind of driving, please watch out for flooded roadways. Of course, turn around, don't drown. It's not a funny saying. It's about saving your life. You should never drive through flood waters out there. David?
Just trying to see if we have any updates here. It looks like it's the same warning. Yeah, we still have that tornado warning for southeastern Crawford County basically for the next 6 minutes. And right now our big concern is around Titusville, where we have some very strong rotation being indicated by radar. Again, when we look at our velocity track, we're looking for the greens next to the reds, and we're seeing that it's just right over the Titusville area.
So right along 89 here.
Looks like it's passed through now.
Yeah, right through 89. That's passing through out towards 27. So if you're in Southwest, you're in Pleasantville, you're on 227 or so. This might be the time to prepare yourself, get away from the windows, get into the interior portions of your home as this does travel to the east. The storm system moving to the east at 35 miles an hour, but this is what we're looking at. Oh yeah, David, you want to zoom in a little bit closer there? You take a look at some other roadways that might help people out here. Enterprise Road out here, Spring Creek Road as well, passing on through as we get close to Route 27 out there, and of course Selkirk Road and Tiddyoute Enterprise Road, Triumph. If you live in these areas, you really should be taking the necessary precautions to stay safe, to protect yourself and your family. Get away from the windows, please. Get into, as I said, I don't need pictures. I don't need pictures until this is over with, and then we can assess damage. I'd rather see you alive than trying to take a picture for us as well. So we are looking at the change in the colors, to the green to the reds, and we're seeing that here. Enterprise Road up to Spring Creek Road as well. Southwest 27 and out in towards Tiddyoute Enterprise Road. Mike?
John, we have an update from Rolling Fields Elder Care Community Nursing Home. They are now evacuating residents from there using school buses and taking them to a safer area. Still no official word of injuries at that nursing home. We have also talked with Amanda Post. She went through Cambridge Springs, and just like this video you're seeing here, encountered a lot of heavy rain that did not see any damage, so she is making her way to Guys Mills as we speak. We have an update from the Corey School District, Corey Elementary, Middle School, and High School. All students are being kept at the school until the severe weather passes through, so they will not be leaving the school. That is the same for Meadville Area High School, Meadville Area Middle School, and the Titusville School District as well. Again, it was shortly after 3 o'clock when the National Weather Service out of Cleveland issued the report that a trained spotter saw a tornado 5 miles east of Conneautville in Crawford County, and that tornado struck the nursing home, Rolling Fields Elder Care Community. That nursing home opened in 1968, and now they're in the process of trying to evacuate the residents by using school buses. So again, we're looking at more video. This is from Tabitha Wood. You can see the clouds, the wind, and the rain in that area there. And we want to remind you again, we cannot say it enough. The safest place to be is in your basement or an interior room, stairwell, or hallway on a lower floor. You want to avoid windows, doors, and outside walls, and cover yourself with blankets or a mattress for protection. Even a helmet can be used for protection as well. So a reminder again, the school districts that are holding students, Corey, Titusville, and Meadville Area High School and Middle School as well. John?
All right, we're going to go back to the warnings there. Dave, you can probably get rid. Well, let's leave that lightning on because it's pretty impressive lightning actually for this storm system. And look how it spreads all the way from Sheffield back all the way into basically Meadville. So the system's still moving, the supercells still moving on through. But David, if you want to get back to that radar, well, real quick, the reds there represent the tornado warnings that are still in effect. But let's talk about the movement, David. We're seeing a little bit of a dip in there if we put it into probably loop that a little bit.
Yeah, we were literally just discussing this before, and this is how you know you have very strong rotation when you're just looking at Doppler radar, which indicates the intensity of the precipitation. I mean, you can see how that storm, how they're turning to the south and east, and that is an indication that they're rotating quite a bit. And obviously we've had the confirmed report of the large tornado near Cambridge Springs, and those storms continue to go more to the south and east, which if you look at those other weaker storms, they're moving more directly to the east.
Yes, exactly. So this is what we're talking about here. As you can see right in that last loop as it starts to dip down, and hence the tornado warnings that are in effect for northern parts of Venango County right now. And you can see that the rotation a little bit. And Go back to that rotation tracker, you'll be able to see that that's it's not a strong rotation. We're still seeing the differences in those colors there, of course, as we get closer into Warren County. Tiddyoute looking pretty good right now. I'm not overly concerned at this moment, but of course, it's Mother Nature. She can have a mind of her own. Doesn't matter what all the laws that we know.
Hey, John, just an update for you from the Crawford County Evacuation Center. It is now open. The American Red Cross is opening a reception center at the Church of Christ on Main Street in Conneautville in Crawford County. For those who have been evacuated from the senior living center in the community, if needed, this center will be converted into a full-service shelter later tonight. Again, the American Red Cross is opening a reception center at the Church of Christ on Main Street. That's in Conneautville in Crawford County. John?
All right, well, we're back here. We're looking at the velocities and such, and still our area of concern, maybe to the southwestern corners of Crawford County at this time. So that's is where you really should be taking the necessary precautions to save yourself. All the way up to Tiddyoute as well, along Route 27 out towards Triumph as well, here into Warren County. This is an area of concern that we're looking at the present moment. David?
Yeah, it looks like that other area rotation is in fairly open areas out over southern Warren County in between Tiddyoute and Sheffield. Every time I move it, it wants to switch to another radar. But basically, yeah, we're looking at that area right between Tiddyoute and Sheffield. That's likely where we may have a tornado on the ground over near Cherry Grove.
Right.
And you can see that we don't have many streets in there.
Yeah, but we're looking at kind of right in this area, right outside of Cherry Grove. That's what David's talking about. That's Austin Road. You can see here heavy lightning associated with it here, of course, as well. If you do go back to the other velocity with the other radar, we did see a little color issues going on. This slide it to the...
Yeah, let me scoot it out a little bit this way.
There you go. So we are seeing a little bit of an issue right there, and this is right outside of Cherry Tree. So there could be some issues there, maybe even a tornado funnel cloud popping on into that direction. Yeah, I don't know. This is just boggling. This has been pretty massive out here as well. Let's just go back to the warnings. Okay, now the tornado warnings have been canceled out here into Crawford County. That, of course, good news. Still, you can still see that we have some lightning back there out towards back into Meadville or so. And then we still have that tornado warning out here into Warren County. And you're still seeing outside of Cherry Tree, outside of Sheffield, Kane, you should be on the watch out. Don't see any warnings, tornado warnings for McKean County. Just the tornado watch at this time. And as you can see the traveling of the system throughout the afternoon, we're starting to clear out into the western portions of Crawford County. So that, of course, good news. Now you guys can get out, take pictures of damage if you like, and send it to us. I appreciate that. Out here into Meadville, we're starting seeing some...
Hey, John, I don't want to cut you off here, but I got this report from the Weather Service in Pittsburgh saying that they have a confirmed tornado located over Titusville, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So it has been confirmed that there is a tornado right now in Titusville.
Oh, sorry.
Let's get back. Let's see. So that area we were looking at.
Yeah, the area that we were watching a little bit earlier with the differences in color, that was our concern for most of the afternoon, was Titusville. Right as, remember, we were showing the storms were taking a dip to the south. So go on with the information that you just got, David.
Yeah, it just came in a couple of minutes ago. Let's see, I'll read the full text from Pittsburgh. They're basically saying, weather spotters confirmed a tornado, and this tornado is on the ground. Let's see, locations. Basically, they're just saying it's over Titusville, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So this is taking it over Let's look over at the velocity product just so we can
Still
see.
looking east, though. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
Near
Yeah.
southwest. It's
Yeah,
near southwest.
right near southwest. We're seeing 27 out there, Tiddyoute Enterprise Road. If you live in this area, I'm not familiar with this area. This could be a very rural area, but obviously there's towns here and there's people who are driving. David, I don't know if we can do that, the tracking to the east there that includes the towns. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if
Let's
you can do it on this one, but let's.
Okay, let's see. We'll go east about 30. We'll just pull it up
that's
this way.
fine enough. So here's some of the towns that we should be interested in. Hunter School, Southwest, of course, Triumph, White School, out towards Tiddyoute Elementary. These are the schools. Now, folks, if kids are in these schools protecting themselves, please make sure that they're away from windows in a very serious, safe spot within the schools. So we have a lot of schools that are within this cone shape. Hunter School, McGraw School, Tiddyoute Elementary School, McKean School as well, Maggie as well. Please watch out into this area as we will watch this change. Let's get rid of that box and take a look at what we've been looking at right here. So we're looking at this area right here to the southwest. We're seeing the difference in color, and that basically means that we have some kind of rotation into, and this really is, we're seeing this really kind of expanded a little bit up to the north of Pleasantville.
Yeah, and unfortunately we're in a problematic area for radar coverage. So still we're scanning high on the storm. We're using radars in State College and Buffalo and Cleveland, and it's indicating that, yeah, we do have that rotation around there. And obviously we just got the report from the National Weather Service of a tornado on the ground in Titusville, and it is moving, it's passing by southwest as we speak. It could be heading over towards Tiddyoute, although if it goes in a due east fashion, it maybe dips a little bit southeast. There we go. Look at that rotation down there. Tiddyoute Enterprise Road and moving through southwest.
Yeah, this was just updated for you. Doppler Max updating this for you. As you can see, the potential tornado that there was a tornado as reported by the National Weather Service. Touchdown confirmed. Or was that was by law enforcement?
No, they were saying weather spotters confirmed tornado on the ground in Titusville.
Okay, so this would be Titusville. Obviously, this is the rotation moving out to the east about 35 miles an hour. So we are covering Enterprise Road out there. Dave, let's zoom in a little closer, see if we can pick up some more streets and areas out there. From Pleasantville up to southwest, we are also looking at Titusville Enterprise Road. Seems to be a big road. Okay, this is a good here. This would be Colorado Road, out to Henderson Hollow Road, that's Route 27, and the areas near there, you should take cover immediately. We're looking at Hidden Spring Lane. It's not quite there yet. Tiddyoute Enterprise Road is a pretty big road, it looks like. Anybody into this area of southwest, you need to take cover immediately. Get down, of course, get down into a basement, the lowest floor of your house. Get inside if you're outside, possibly watching us on a mobile device. Seek a sturdy building as soon as possible, and of course you have to cover your head and do what you can out there as well.
We're going to take a live look in Conneautville. Our Andrew Hyman is on the scene at the nursing home that was hit this afternoon. Again, it's the Rolling Fields Elder Care Community Nursing Home in Conneautville, and you can see the damage to the roof. And you can see Andrew on the scene right now. He's doing a Facebook Live for us. That's Andrew Hyman covering it for us now. And we have an update also. The Rolling Fields Elderly Care Nursing Home in Crawford County has been hit directly, you can see the damage there, hit directly by a tornado. At this time, there are no serious injuries reported. 2 residents there have been hospitalized for unrelated concerns, and all the residents are being evacuated by bus. They're being taken out of the facility. At this point, according to someone in marketing and developing there, it's a Lisa Haglund who issued this statement. Their main priority, of course, with the elderly patients, the care partners, and the employees, everyone on the site. So again, the Rolling Fields nursing facility in Crawford County hit by a tornado. At this time, there are no serious injuries to report. 2 residents have been hospitalized, but for unrelated concerns. And this other reminder, John, before I send it back to you, the American Red Cross is opening a reception center at the Church of Christ on Main Street in Conneautville in Crawford County for those who have been evacuated from that nursing senior living facility there in that community. John?
Yeah, and that area is still under a flash flood warning until 9:30. So we're going to see some serious flooding, especially into the low-lying areas. You can see there some of the damage from that the rooftop. Too bad we can zoom in a little bit more. But of course, if you want to see what's going on, check out our Facebook right now with Andrew Hyman. He's doing some Facebook activity for you. Yeah, we're going to zoom in a little bit onto this damage. Of course, National Weather Service has been on the scene. We can see roof damage in the foreground, and then the next to the right. Of course, now in the center, we're seeing obviously some roof damage there. You know, the question is, you know, it's not a confirmed tornado. There is wind damage out there, and of course, National Weather Service will confirm that. If we go back to the radar here, we're seeing things starting to clear out a little bit, but still moving very strongly into Warren. This is where our major concern is right now, next to the flash flood warning for Crawford County. We are looking at I mean, David, let's zoom on into this. I mean, this is pretty amazing, this lightning that we're seeing out here.
Yeah, this is a mess.
Cherry top. We're also Sheffield out there, out towards Tiddyoute. And also, let's just get right to the velocity, because I'm really concerned about the tornado possibilities that could be going on at this moment. Unfortunately, yeah, there we go. Well, we're still looking here, so let's zoom on in here. And we're talking just outside of Crawford County, Warren County, out towards Venango County out there, north of Cherry Tree.
And it looks like this rotation, yeah, is now into far northeastern Venango County. So this should probably continue to head towards the southeast. Right now, I think the latest warning that was put out, yeah, now it looks like we mainly have a severe thunderstorm warning for that cell that had the history of producing a tornado.
There's still a little bit of that corner, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's... So the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for 4th and Venango until 5:30, but
yeah, I still think there's a little.
We still got that tornado warning.
A little bit. Let's go out towards Sheffield a little bit. Well, at least go back to the velocity, because we're still seeing some issues out here too, I think, as you can see right there, David.
Yeah, there's still that rotation, and that's getting over near Sheffield.
Yeah, south of Sheffield. Let's just zoom in. I know it's going to change a little bit, but at least we'll have an idea right into this area. So south of Cherry Grove right now, and this could be hopefully just a very unpopulated area, but as it heads out to 666, as you can see there, Route 666, 948, out towards Austin Hill Road, south of Cherry Grove. So that is a place you need to also take some cover at this time, because that would be very a smart thing to do, as we are seeing a little bit of that rotation in the radar here. Back to the radar as a whole, David. Let's just look at basically as a whole, and we are still seeing those heavier showers moving on out. So you're right. Here's that severe thunderstorm warning. I am seeing a little sliver here that could still be that tornado warning as this dips to the south a little bit.
Yeah, it is. There's still a tornado warning in effect basically for the next 5 minutes for northeastern Venango County, but it looks like that orange box, which is a severe thunderstorm warning, may be taking over that. So that's a good indication that the storm doesn't quite have the rotation that it did before.
It does seem like it's sinking to the south a little bit out here. Question is, where are we? So we're about 3 minutes away, because this was till 4:45 out here into Warren. We'll stay on till 4:45, and then we'll probably take a break. But if this continues, we will continue our coverage into our 5 o'clock newscast with Amanda and Mike. And you can see here, this is what we're watching. So let's just do a wider scan here, David, and just talk about what we're seeing, and put the let's put the NWS watches on here. This is what we're doing. 2:38 this afternoon. Tornado warning issued for Crawford County. Radar indicated tornado was detected north of Linesville, about 7 miles north of Linesville, about 14 miles outside of Meadville as well. What we do know is that Conneautville has some damage out there. There were funnel clouds reported there, funnel clouds reported in the Blooming Valley, and of course, as we just recently found out, reported into Titusville. That moved on. Some of the warnings were canceled and then reissued as well across the area. And as we head on into the later part of the afternoon, we are seeing those warnings extended throughout the entire county and then into Warren County. Right now, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Venango County. Now we're just into a tornado watch. So the severe thunderstorm watch for Warren County is canceled, I believe, David. Just, I know one precedes
Yes,
another.
the severe thunderstorm warning has come down.
Okay, so the yellow here is the severe thunderstorm watches in effect, tornado watches in effect till 11 p.m. Tonight. So we're not necessarily out of the woods right now. And the other major concern here is the flash flooding into the area. So we have some Facebook pictures.
Yeah, John, we do have some Facebook photos that have been sent to us. Two pictures from around Dixonburg Road. This is near Conneautville, and you can see the clouds rolling in. We also have.
Yeah, well, can we just look at that picture, David? What do we see in this picture? Obviously, we see those storm clouds moving on in. I don't see any real circulation.
It's hard to tell on this because it's just a still photo. If we actually had video, you might be able to indicate some more rotation there.
But there's
so
definitely
that's hard
storm
to tell.
clouds, yeah. All right, sorry.
So
Mike.
we have two pictures there from Conneautville. There's the second one, guys.
And I'm not sure if we're seeing strong winds or those are trees or leaves. So, you know, it's really hard sometimes to see into these videos. But nonetheless, Brittany, thank you for sending these in.
Wow.
That is impressive.
Wow.
This is from Broderick Allen, Hale, and Wattsburg, guys.
Yeah, that's over golf ball size.
Yeah, so this is not even with the tornadic stuff that we were seeing. So these could be actually smaller than what was happening in parts of Crawford County. That is definitely, I would say, baseball size.
Mike, did you say this is by Titusville?
No, this
Wattsburg.
David is by Wattsburg.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is in Erie
Wattsburg,
County.
okay.
So this is not even with the tornadic cells.
Yeah,
that we're
wow,
seeing
look
here.
how it's covering the ground.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And
Wow. We're
yeah.
used to snow and white covering the ground during the wintertime,
Yeah.
not hail.
Okay, guys, we also have Andrew Hyman live. In
Well, wait,
Conneautville.
before I need to say that the tornado warnings are now over for Warren County. That, of course, is the good news. You're still not out of the woods just yet. Flash flood warnings. Now we'll turn it over to the news portion, and we'll see you again at 5 o'clock.
Okay, we're going to send it live now to Andrew Hyman, who is live in Conneautville. Andrew, can you hear us? We'll send it to you.
Yeah, right now what we have heard is that 2 residents were taken to the hospital for unrelated medical conditions, but we have been able to confirm that a tornado directly hit the center. Now there's some significant roof damage on to a building to the left of me, and there's significant roof damage to the front part of the building. But again, there's no reason to believe that other residents were injured by this. In fact, the American Red Cross has stepped in to set up a reception center at the Church of Christ. It's on Main Street here in Conneautville. But taking a look around, there's plenty of damage in the path. We saw some downed trees over on 198, and then when you pull up and you look over, you can definitely see that the tornado made its mark here on the building. Some collapses to the roof, and then again some significant damage. There's still fire crews here on scene. Again, it does not sound like anybody was significantly injured by the tornado itself, but there were 2 unrelated injuries in that case. But we will continue to work with people down here in Conneautville and give you the most up-to-date information. Reporting from Conneautville, I'm Andrew Hyman, Erie News Now.
Before we send it over to David for more of a recap, again, the American Red Cross is opening a reception center at the Church of Christ on Main Street, and this is in Conneautville, Crawford County, for those who had to be evacuated from that senior living facility, the Rolling Fields Elder Care Community Nursing Home. They are taking residents there by bus, and they are taking them out to safer ground. Again, the American Red Cross will be opening a reception center at the Church of Christ on Main Street, and that's in Conneautville in Crawford County, and the center will be converted into a full-service shelter later tonight. David?
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, this has been an unbelievable day, just how quickly these storms evolved and how quickly they went tornadic. And I'm putting Doppler max into motion. This basically takes us through the duration of the event so far, and you can see how some of these cells, they start to turned to the southeast, and those are the ones that have had the history of producing a tornado. And it's amazing that we got a report of a large tornado. Often you hear about large tornadoes in Oklahoma, in Alabama, in Mississippi, not in northwest Pennsylvania. So this is bringing back memories for some folks of 1985, but certainly not at the extent of what happened that year. Either way, just the way the storms are evolving kind of triggered that memory, even though I wasn't even born back in 1985. We are still watching the threats as the storms are moving through Titusville. We're out of the tornado warning. We did have a report that there was a tornado on the ground in Titusville, but that threat has cleared. But still, do not try to go outside. Stay in your safe zone because we're seeing some very heavy rain, maybe even some more hail, lots of lightning out there over southeastern Crawford County. Into Meadville, of course, there are a lot of creeks and rivers that go through Meadville. The French Creek is subjectable to flooding, and so that's what we're going to be watching. There are a lot of low-lying areas in Crawford County that may be flooding as we speak, so we always say turn around, don't drown. A lot of folks are about ready to head on out for their evening commute. They're about ready to come on home or maybe going out for dinner. Just hang tight for a little bit, and if there are any barriers up, if there are any roads that maybe there are no barriers up and authorities haven't gotten there yet, if you see any water sitting on the roadways, do not venture across it. Again, we want you to be safe because that flash flood warning will continue for some time now. John, how long does this flash flood warning go until?
Until 9:30.
Until 9:30. And that's because even after the storms have passed, you still get that water rise in those creeks and rivers. So now we go from the tornado threats to the flooding threat, but we're still not out of the woods yet with hail because we may have some hail even back towards Meadville.
I just wanted to continue with the flooding situation out there. So yeah, of course, don't drive through floodwater. Obviously, don't go out to play, and you should get out of areas that are subject to flooding immediately. So please take this seriously because a lot of rain has come on down. I know you were talking about the hail. I was just going to do the estimated rainfall, see if we can get a gauge of the rain that actually fell down.
And it looks like these storms are starting to train a little bit. You're seeing one form right after another, and they're moving over the same areas. And you can see this stripe in here. This is obviously where we're dealing with some very heavy rain. But this also could be contaminated by hail as well. Sometimes you get those incredible rainfall rates due to hail being reported as well. But you can see it almost follows the potential tornado track from Conneautville, just south of Cambridge Springs towards Bloomfield, and even into the Titusville area.
Yeah,
so
and even Blooming Valley as well. I'm just going to take some estimated totals very quickly with Doppler Max. We're talking about 2.5 inches.
2 inches.
Yeah, so I mean that's a lot of rain to come down in a short amount of time, especially when we had rain yesterday and a little bit of rain earlier. So therefore, that flash flooding very important to obviously keep an eye on if you live in those flood-prone areas. And I can't stress enough. And every time I see the video, David, I don't know if you want to agree with me or not. When I see people driving through floodwaters, I think it's the dumbest thing that you possibly can do.
Oh, absolutely.
It's absolutely the dumbest thing you can do. There's no reason. Go seek shelter, sit it out, let the water recede, and then go about your business. It's better to be safe. It is the #1 cause of severe weather death, flash flooding.
And John, just to add to your thoughts on driving through the water, you know, let the approaching car go first. And again, try to test your brakes as soon as you can afterwards. We do have a school update now.
Okay.
Union City Area School District is releasing all students at this time. Again, Union City Area School District is releasing all students at this time. And guys, we do have a statement now from the Crawford County Department of Public Safety. The Crawford County Public Safety reports confirmation that a tornado touched down in the vicinity of Conneautville this afternoon, causing damage to a villa and a portion of the main facility at Rolling Fields Elder Care. National Fuel Gas has shut off gas to the facility, and 162 residents there have been transported to Conneautville Volunteer Fire Department and Conneautville Valley Middle School. 2 minor injuries were reported. They have been transferred to local hospitals. Again, this a report from the Crawford County Public Safety issuing this report just a few minutes ago. Emergency officials are watching the situation closely with reports of standing water and downed trees on various roadways throughout the county. So again, residents are urged to avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. Guys?
Yeah, we do understand that someone may have seen the tornado touch down, but of course it is up to the National Weather Service to confirm that, and they are on the scene, I believe, by now, confirming if this were a tornado or not. But I'm not saying that it didn't touch the ground, but until the Weather Service says that this is an official tornado, they're going to give us, obviously the scale of the tornado and the precise timing in that as we're moving on. And of course, they do work closely with the Crawford County management officials as well. So that will be something to wait for until it's officially confirmed. And I'm looking here at the National Weather Service site, and I don't see a confirmed tornado just yet. We're looking at, is Andrew talking or no? Oh, okay. So we're just going to look at this video here, and this is from Conneautville.
You can see, yes, John, the trees on the left.
Okay, there's
some tree damage there.
There's tree damage there. Now, of course, David, jump in on here. When we look at tornado damage, we're looking for a pattern. We're looking for almost like a circular motion.
Right. If trees are falling down in the same direction or everything is being pushed in the same direction, that's a good indication of straight line winds. But if you have more of a circular, a swirly motion of the damage, there we go. This is a little bit better. You can see that one tree looks like it's almost split in half. There's a lot of branches out in this field.
Yeah, it's hard to say if they're in a circular motion or not, and it's not a wide enough shot. But of course, and this is obviously, it looks like a tree that was dying anyway. But not to say that it wasn't a tornado or so. But that's what the investigators from the National Weather Service are going to be doing in a matter of moments. They're going to be looking for direction of the debris, basically, and how what the debris field is, right?
Yeah, and another thing, whenever these warnings are put out and they're saying a confirmed tornado from weather spotters, a lot of these weather spotters do have training to look at these storms and see if there's any sort of rotation. And so at that moment, they're going to say, yeah, tornado is on the ground, but they still have to confirm it after the fact, because if you say that there is a tornado on the ground in the warning, people are a lot more likely to take it serious, especially when it says a large tornado. So obviously, again, the National Weather Service will be out in this area around Conneautville. Also, they'll be going to Titusville, and they'll be inspecting this damage.
Yeah,
and it looks like we have another tornado warning that popped up in the Forest County.
We do have out towards Jenks out here. There's a tornado warning into Forest County until 5:30. So this is on the extreme edge of our viewing area, but nonetheless, still very important.
Yeah, a lot of people camp out this way, so you may still know some folks who are out in the Forest County. Yeah, this goes until the next 35 minutes, but this is starting to more so move out of our coverage area. But I think the main concern for a lot of folks, especially into Crawford County, we have potential tornado damage, and we've also got that risk for some flash flooding as well. So we're going to keep this flash flood watch, or this flash flood warning, I should say, going until 9:30, and this also includes portions of Ashtabula County. The entire area remains under a tornado watch, but as that line continues to move on out, John, I don't know if we can flip over to radar really quickly. Yeah, you can see the storms, they are continuing to move on out. There's that rotating storm that's headed towards Jenks and Forest County, and you can kind of see the general motion of it. It is moving more to the south and east because it still has that rotation. As a matter of fact, you can almost see a little notch right there. That's where the wind is flowing into the storm, and you get this rotation right in this area. This is bad radar coverage here, but we certainly have an indication that there is a twisting motion in the atmosphere heading over towards Jenks and Route 60. Is that Route 66?
666.
666. All right. So right there, if we have any tornado on the ground, it would be right in this area headed towards Jenks. And obviously, these storms are booking it, but it takes a tornado touchdown and even go right back up to cause some significant damage, and we've certainly already seen that today. And then after you potentially deal with a tornado, then you get the hail and very, very heavy rain, thunder and lightning. You get basically the whole deal here. I noticed that one storm that may have produced some hail up towards Wattsburg, that thing flared up pretty quickly. Yeah, it looks like...
we could, let me see if I can... Right...
I thought it was interesting earlier when you had radar estimates on the amount of rain that fell.
Yeah.
There was a bullseye just south of Wattsburg, which would make sense because the radar is picking up on that hail, and so it's thinking that it's rainfall accumulation. So if you get a real big number there, that's a sign that you probably had some big hail, and we certainly confirm that.
Yeah, and you can see there the storm there. That is just to the south of Wattsburg, just right after 3 o'clock. So that's where that those giant hail came on down. Of course, we're going to have more on today's potential tornado touchdowns across the area. We're waiting for the National Weather Service to confirm what is going on, what kind of strength it was as well. And of course, we're going to have all the latest live reports from Crawford County with Mike and Amanda coming up in just a few.
With coverage you can count on. This is Erie News Now at 5.
Good evening. We start this evening with the latest on the reported tornadoes in the region. One reportedly hit a nursing home in Conneautville, but no one was injured. We're told another touched down in Titusville. Our crews are covering both. First Warning Weather's John Stalen is tracking the latest at this hour. John.
Yeah, Mike, the good news is the tornado warnings are over for our immediate area. We still have some really heavy showers and thunderstorms. And look at this into the southern portions of Warren County. We are seeing extreme lightning going on all the way from Kane and McKean County out to the south of Tiddyoute as well, and south of Warren at this hour. This is a very heavy and severe lightning. Right now we have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and we also have a tornado warning in effect for parts of Forest County as well, as you can see here, until 5:30 p.m. So please, if you are watching us either online or even off air, please seek shelter immediately. Find the interior portions of your house, go to the lowest floor, and protect your head. David, let's show the watches and warnings very quickly for the rest of the area. Now that we have our tornado warnings for Crawford County canceled, our big concern, our major concern, is flash flooding potential. More than 2.5 inches of rain, and it was training rain, which means it was one after the other possibly falling across the area, and with runoff in that and hundreds of low-lying crossings across Crawford County, flash flooding is imminent or occurring at the moment. The red area here, this is until 9:30. The yellow means that we're still in a tornado watch until 11 p.m. tonight for Crawford, for Erie, for Mercer, for Venango, for Warren and McKean County. So please do not lighten up a little bit. If you see a changing sky or even conditions deteriorating very quickly, please seek shelter immediately. As we go back to the radar here, you're going to see that most of those showers staying well to the south right now. Let's just pull a wider scan out, David, of the region and see what's going on. So if a lot of folks are traveling up 79, coming home from work or maybe doing some traveling, this could be an issue for you as you just get close to Crawford County and just to the south of Meadville. Most of it's cleared out across 90, so all the thoroughfares looking pretty decent. 80, of course, out towards St. Mary's, but you can see this intense lightning in this line that has potentially produced not only one but several tornadoes across the area. National Weather Service is on location. They're investigating, and we'll bring you that information as soon as possible. We'll have more from the First Warning Weather Department. David Walter is in as well. We're working on this for you. We'll have more in just a few.
Thanks, John. Crawford County Public Safety reports confirmation that a tornado touched down in the vicinity of Conneautville. Again, John reminds us we have official word from the National Weather Service, but it caused damage to a villa and a portion of the main facility at Rolling Fields Elder Care. National fuel gas has been shut off to the facility, and 162 residents have been transported to Conneautville Volunteer Fire Department and Conneaut Valley Middle School. 2 minor injuries were reported. They were transported to local hospitals. Emergency officials are watching the situation closely with reports of standing water and downed trees on various roadways throughout the county. Now, residents are urged to avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. And Erie News Now, Andrew Hyman is live in Conneautville, where the tornado hit the nursing home. He's following the latest. Andrew.
Yeah, we still got an active scene going on right now. Fire and EMT crews are still on scene. We've had a helicopter going around probably to assess some of the damage here outside of the Rolling Fields Elder Care here in Conneautville, where a tornado struck a short time ago. Now we have some significant roof damage on both what's called the Therapy Conference Center, as well as over to my left, which is recognized right now as the Villas. Now, we have not heard of any reports of injuries to any residents, though 2 were taken to the hospital for unrelated medical issues. And to help out any of the residents that were inside during the time, the American Red Cross is opening up a reception center at the Church of Christ on Main Street here in Conneautville, but they are still working around the building. We just had somebody come by. They're coming to pick up some pets, not sure if that's residents or workers' pets. We do still see some residents that are being taken away. There are some different areas where they're being evacuated to. We saw some tree damage alongside and in front of the building. Again, emergency crews still on scene, and for anybody that needs the help or is concerned about their family members, the American Red Cross is opening up that reception center at the Church of Christ on Main Street in Conneautville, and that's where we'll report from. Erie News Now, I'm Andrew Hyman.
All right, thanks, Andrew. We'll be checking back with you later on. The man charged with slashing the throat of a LECOM student outside of a local Walgreens has been deemed incompetent to stand trial. A judge has ruled that 30-year-old Stephen Robinson must receive treatment at a mental health hospital before the case can proceed. Erie News Now, Jamison Hicksonbaugh joins us now with the latest development in this case. Jamison.
Profoundly psychotic and under-medicated. That's how a forensic psychiatrist who evaluated Robinson described his condition, and Judge William Cunningham agreed. The judge ruled Robinson incompetent to stand trial and ordered him to be committed to Torrance State Hospital, which is located between Pittsburgh and Johnstown. On July 3rd, Erie police accused Robinson of attacking 21-year-old Whitney Sullivan outside of the Walgreens on 38th and Peach Street. Police say he cut her face and throat with a box cutter. Since his arrest, we've learned that Robinson has a history of severe mental illness dating back to his teenage years. He's already been found incompetent to stand trial in 2 other criminal cases, including a recent incident where he was accused of attacking a nurse at St. Vincent. In each case, the judge has ruled that his competency has been restored. During his competency hearing today, a psychiatrist said that Robinson has a schizoaffective disorder that requires extensive medication and psychotherapy. The psychiatrist recommended that Robinson be returned to Torrance so he could receive the proper treatment. And if Robinson's competency is restored during his stay at Torrance, the district attorney's office can once again proceed with the criminal case currently against him. And according to Assistant DA Aaron Connolly, they must wait to see how his mental health condition pans out before they move forward. For Erie News Now, I'm Jamison Hicksonbaugh. Mike, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jamison. The Mill Creek Township man accused of fatally stabbing his girlfriend in her mother's home will now face trial. 24-year-old James Gilbert will now face trial for criminal homicide following his preliminary hearing this morning. Police say Gilbert stabbed and killed his girlfriend, 20-year-old Miranda Matisowski. It happened back on August 2nd inside of a home along Mill Street. Matisowski's mother testified today that the couple had been arguing, and she witnessed Gilbert stab himself in the chest after he attacked her daughter in her basement while she was watching their 1-year-old son. The lead detective in this case also testified that Gilbert admitted to attacking his girlfriend because he thought she was the devil. According to Matisowski's mother, the couple had a history of abuse. As of tonight, a trial date has not been set. This week, you'll have a chance to get a cup of coffee and have a conversation with an Erie police officer. City of Erie Police are hosting Coffee with a Cop at Ember and Forge in downtown Erie. From 11 tomorrow morning until 7 p.m., the public can stop by and meet the men and women who patrol the streets of Erie. You can ask questions, voice concerns, and get to know the officers in your neighborhood. It's part of a national initiative to connect the community with local patrol officers.
There's no agenda here. There is no specific topic that is suggested for discussion. It's whatever you want to do, whatever you want to ask the officers, you can come down and talk to them.
Just being able to have that interaction with a police officer in a more casual environment, I think, is just a really good opportunity.
Coffee with a Cop tomorrow at Ember and Forge at 4th and Strait in Erie. It runs from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. Erie's Second Harvest Food Bank is helping out victims of Hurricane Florence in South Carolina. The agency sending food to a food bank so it can be given out to those in need. And Erie News Now senior reporter Paul Wagner says food banks around the country help each other in a time of need. Paul.
Yeah, they really do. For example, Mike, the local food bank sent food out to victims of Hurricane Katrina, and they've done it with other disasters as well. Now the food bank is again helping the effort, being coordinated by Feeding America to make sure food banks in hard-hit North and South Carolina have the food they need for victims. Today, workers at the Second Harvest Food Bank used forklifts to move 24 large pallets of food and other items into a truck headed for the Harvest of Hope Food Bank in Columbia, South Carolina. The pallets weighed more than 27,000 pounds. Feeding America, a network of 200 of the nation's food banks, has already coordinated shipments of 4.5 million pounds of food, water, and supplies to network members serving flood victims in both North and South Carolina. Because most of the victims cannot cook right now, the food bank sent items that victims can easily eat or drink while in shelters or in temporary housing.
Items such as drinks and snacks like cookies and crackers, disposable utensils. Unfortunately, it's items that they can't cook because they're